Day job, running fast from the way it was. Jump quick to a paycheck, running back to the strip club. I'm never going back, never going back.
Well, how y'all gonna hear me and see me to the stage? What is up, you guys? Welcome back to my channel. I miss y'all so much. Listen, we got a lot of lives. I'm gonna be going live a lot tonight, and I hope you guys are ready for it. But I do want to talk about the Real Housewives of Atlanta and Married to Medicine, honey. Yes, I want to discuss the Real Housewives of Atlanta and Married to Medicine situation, and we so have to talk about it because I don't know where people are getting that Britt Edie sat here and released sat here and release basically information on, wait, hold on. Let me see if I can get my information on something that was already put out about Kenya. And we're going to get into that also because it was weird. It was weird. We're going to get into that. So let's get started with Real Housewives of Atlanta. I'm going to give my thoughts on it, and then we're going to trickle down to Married to Medicine and how Honey, Quad, and Simone was about to bump. Okay. So let's start. So we're gonna go into Real Housewives of Atlanta first, right? So as we go into it, right, we go to Real Housewives of Atlanta. Now I know I'm late, and I know that I was gonna talk about it, and I didn't talk about it, y'all. And I want to apologize first before we get into it, okay? Honey, it's a lot that happened. It got Atlanta real quick, okay? So we go into a Real Housewives of Atlanta. And we go to Brittany Edie, meeting up with Angela. And they're going for a walk and she's talking about, Angela and Britt, they have a similar thing where they're discussing basically about not talking to their sister. So Angela fell out. Okay, Angela's sisters, she ain't talking to her family right now because of the fact is Charles, the mama had something to say about Charles Oakley, honey. And basically it was a big fallout, okay? So nobody's talking to no one, and that's the same thing that Britt Edie has going on with her sister where she ain't talking to her sister, which is crazy. So they haven't been seeing eye to eye. The mom's been in the middle. Um, and the family got involved into whatever the situation was with Charles. And things got a little, her family basically shared, things that they didn't like about Charles. Like, they didn't like this and that. So, she was talking to Brittany Edie about it. And then she also was going on the walk and they was talking about the Shamia Morton situation and how Shamia felt, Angela feels like Shamia is Portia lapdog. But she does want to hash it out with Shamia and she want to invite all the girls to a little shindig at the bank. Okay. But we ain't get into where it was at yet. So as it go on, we see Portia go and have her business meeting, honey. And we see Londi. Now Londi passed away last year. Rest in peace to Londi. And Portia has her whole family plus her assistant, the girl that was there with when they did a little show about her getting married and stuff and getting the family together and stuff, right? So, they sitting down and her other sister, I guess her cousin was like, "What you got old girl Chanel?" You were like, "Yeah." So they were just talking about, brand ambassadors, getting people on board for her hair company. And it's something that she said that stuck me. They was like, well, they asked what they gonna do with Drew. Because Drew contacted about the situation and stuff about brand ambassadoring. And she's a brand ambassador of Go Naked Hair. So she said, well, we could talk. Basically, they don't know if they're going to fire Miss Drew or whatever because of this situation that's going on, which is not really that serious to me. And so, the cousin was like, basically, he was like, well, talk about the music career and stuff like that and stuff. And she was like, basically said, well, we're going to have to talk to HR of the company. And then he was like, well, we don't have HR. She said, you're right. Just call me. I'm HR. And I'm like, you know what? Okay. Okay. It seems like to me that Portia, I feel like a lot of people like, well, Portia don't know. I feel like Portia wants Drew working for her all by herself instead of working for Dennis. I don't know why. I guess she feel like nothing can come in between a friendship and nothing become in between her and Dennis with their co-parenting, which is it's weird. It's very territorial in a way. But I mean, I don't know why she wouldn't trust. I guess because of what she did, she felt like nobody will. She could trust anybody around her man, but Portia, Dennis not your man, and I just feel like you should get Dennis back if you feel the case. I'm sorry, no shade. Like you might as well take her back. We wouldn't give a damn. We wouldn't give a damn. We wouldn't obviously care. So then it goes to Drew and Raph, honey, Mr. Out of the Basement. So Drew basically pulled up on Raph teaching the boys in the door. They're having a good old time at the park. They're doing a little football thing. And the little girl say, Mommy, can she say, Mommy, can you do it? And then she went up to there. Drew was like, you can go ask Daddy, if that's okay. And I'm gonna tell y'all how I feel about the dynamic. Okay, so Drew asked him, she started running. He was like, don't tell ACL like she did before in Jamaica. Then they start talking about it's better for them to be co-parents. It's been better for them now. And oh, blah, blah. It didn't work. Here's the thing. This is how I feel about Drew and Raph. First of all, I like Drew. Shout out to Drew. It's no shade. Drew is a liar. Raph is a narcissist. They both ate off each other with the bull crap. Drew has been lying because she done got used to lying about their marriage being fucked up. Then she lied to everybody and said, it's okay, it's okay, it's okay. And she was lying to herself that she was lying to everybody else about a lot of things. Drew got used to it. We're just going to be honest. Mr. Basement, Raph. Honey. When I told y'all he was going to Temple, I knew he had a couple of whores. I told y'all that when we first heard it. Temple like them a little spicy man like that. They like a little man. They don't give a damn. I'm just saying. But I feel like their dynamic of trying to be cordial and trying to show where it's all good for the camera was such a bullshit to me. I felt like it was very acting, very performative. Like Jada Pinkett Smith said in my favorite movie, Low Down Dirty Shame. She say informative. It was very performative, but it wasn't informative. And I feel like Drew, in him saying that they got to be co-parent was, I mean, whatever, child. We all knew that Raph just. I don't know what happened. Maybe Raph is a serial cheater and a narcissist, and Drew was lying about it the whole time to us and everybody else to make it seem it's okay. And then she was lying to herself and realized she was lying to herself that it wasn't okay no more. So I guess Drew, the feelings ain't gonna go away. But listen, this is Drew's second divorce. Okay, I think she was married to her son's father they weren't married that long. This is her second one. Okay. So then we go to Kelly, honey. So Miss Kelly, let me tell you something. I don't know who told Kelly. The new girl's been eating with the old girls. I don't know who told Kelly to come Miss Fallon. So Miss Kelly showed up to Kenya shop, right? Kenya Moore hair care shop. And Kelly was looking fabulous, honey. And shout out to Kenya. Kenya looked good at that peak. Now I'm gonna give Kenya a little drag, but that don't mean I don't like Kenya. I love Kenya. Let's be real. I love all the ladies. I love Kenya this season. It was giving calm, cool, collected. I want to get to know the girls this season than we got before. So Kelly shows up with the security guard, honey. Miss Kelly. I'm gonna call her Miss Kelly the Dawn, honey. She's showing with the fashions. And she shows up with security guard, and Kenya was like, "Is this for sure? This real?" She was like, "No, baby. Like, I have to have a security guard." She was like, "This for sure is just, whatever." She was like, "No, honey. My soon to be ex-husband threatened me in front of the judge at the courthouse. He threatened me in front of the judge at the courthouse." Yes, she did. She said, "Baby, he threatened me, and I got a protective order. He can't see the kids, and you know, basically to." I ain't worrying about him. I got security. I don't trust him. He threatened to unalive me in front of the judge, and it got there. Now, let me tell you something. We have seen Kelly husband. If you haven't, go look it up. Kelly husband, we've noticed that he took money, and I guess he's upset because he got, caught with embezzled. He got caught with embezzled, and that was the whole shindig. And I feel like, Kelly husband thought she was a good catch, and you know, let's be honest, y'all. He's not a looker, and Kelly is a very nice looking young woman. Um, but he did threaten her, and they was having a conversation about that. Now what's crazy is both of their ex husbands shared the same name, and you know, just saying, King and Sayasha, she was going through some things as well, and they were talking about the shop and basically how Kelly feel like she likes Kenya. She's proud of her. She's a businesswoman. She like to see where the shop gonna go. But what I did like about Kenya was Kenya said, "Hey, I'm scared for my shop. Like if this doesn't work, what am I gonna do?" You know what I'm saying? And that's true. Like if it don't work, she's like, "What am I gonna do?" Like I'm scared my shop isn't gonna work. I'm scared it's not gonna be successful. Hold on, y'all. She feels like it's not going to be successful. And that's the problem for her. So I like to see that vulnerability of Kenya, because Kenya tries to put on face she's strong. And we see that a lot with Kenya. We see Kenya try to act like nothing fazed her. She's not scared of anything. We're gonna get into that later. We see Kenya shade the girls, but to see her be vulnerable about her business and being scared that it's not gonna work, I liked it out of Kenya. I did. We saw a side of Kenya that we didn't get in a very long time. Okay. And I liked that. So I've heard some things about the shop, but because she was saying that Kenya was basically saying that she took all the her princess money for college into it. I don't think so. She said 40,000, but I don't think so. So then we go into the scene where the ladies brought all their husbands. So the ladies gather at the bank. Now, honey, the bank is gorgeous. I've been in Atlanta for a very long time. Honey, I ain't even hear about the bank, honey. It's like a vault. You walk in, they got dinner, you sitting, when I say it was gorgeously laid out, I ain't even been to the bank. But I hear it's an undercover spot in Bankhead. And it's black owned, okay? So if you are in Atlanta, go check out the bank, honey. Shout out to the bank owners, man, for doing their thing on the show, laying it out, having good food and all. So they invited all the girls. So all the girls was at first. First of all, they brought their husbands. So in security. So I don't now. I'm gonna say this. A lot of people's like, y'all trying to make it look. Yes, the Bankhead is getting gentrified. It is. But we not gonna act like y'all ain't got y'all little young YNs running around, popping locks, running the street, taking cars, running out there selling water, taking money out the cash app. Come on now. In Atlanta, downtown too, Girl say she cashed out for $2, $3 for water. Come to find out, Jit done took $300, $400, $500. We not gonna act like it's not happening now. So we not gonna act like they see them with a Rolls Royce. They're not gonna come up and want to be in their face. We not gonna act like that. I stayed in Young Dro hood. Shout out to Young Dro. I didn't even know he was out there till they told me he was out there. He's a cool dude. He's a cool dude, stand up guy. But yeah, so they show up to the vault, honey. Everybody's showing up. Everybody's there, looking great in they black down, honey. When they say black down, honey. And then guess who come in with a damn green dress on? Kenya damn Moore. So Kenya Moore came on with this cute, pretty dress, and everybody was like, Kenya, the invitation clearly says black. And she was like, well, I don't have anything black in my closet. I said, nah, Kenya, girl, you could have went and got you a nice, your coin, first of all, your coin ain't broke. You're not broke. Your coin is a pretty good coin. But I understand. I know you was like, you know what, I'm not buying this. I'm not, whatever. So I get it. So everybody show up, they sit down, they eat or whatever. And Shamia, decided to give Angela Oakley an olive oil bottle with an olive branch, just to apologize. And she was like, if it was me and I said something like that, I would told myself to beat it. I would have like beaten it and would have never accepted, but I'm glad that she accepted my apology, right? So now this is where it gets a little ting thing. Oh, this is what I like also. So, they made up. So then after Kenya came in, they sat down, they would talk about candy yams, the soul food, egg rolls, candy yams, egg roll, collard greens, this and that. So they were saying all the stuff that's pretty good, just to come up that people been coming up with. Now this is where it get off the chain. So everybody want to play games of questions. I don't damn understand. Y'all could have played Karusha Roulette. So now they sit here, they ask Kenya to show her panties, her lady garments, her lady undergarments. And she showed her lady undergarments, and Portia like, ooh, Kenya, your pocketbook is fat. Dang, you can eat up and gobble the whole table. I say what? Everybody giggling and having fun. So then, wait, I'm skipped a part. So before the question, hold on, before we get to the questions, the shady part I missed. So Shamia decided to play her song that she's been in the studio, and I felt like Portia was being shady when she said, "Oh, is that you? That's not Shamia. That's not her singing voice." So Shamia was like, "Stop it, Portia. You know my singing voice." She was trying to diss Drew because at first she thought it was a diss, but she really was trying to. It didn't go where Portia wanted to land. Portia wanted to diss Drew about an album, okay? And Shamia sat here. She started picking on her friend Shamia, being shady, trying to be funny, and wanted Shamia to catch it. But Shamia was being serious that she released the album. It's a very great song, by the way. And Drew album is great. Y'all go check them out. So she was trying to land a plane of talking Drew by using Shamia, what Shamia was doing, but really you kind of just made yourself look bad. It didn't land like you told Kelly. It didn't land how Portia. It didn't land how you wanted to land, sweetheart. You could have said, "Oh, girl, that's great. It sounds better than Drew," and left it like that. You could have just left. I mean, that's good. Y'all see my friend. It ain't it's something. I said that because I thought Drew. No, baby. What you should have said was, "Oh, that's great. I'll listen to that before I listen to Drew and sip your drink." And that's how you be petty. You didn't land a plane. It was like you was trying to land Spirit into Delta's lane. and it didn't fly. It didn't fly. It didn't lift up off the ground and had to come back and sit down and park because it was something wrong. Okay? I just wanted to say that. So back to the game. So as I playing the game, you know, I'm left some things out, but we're gonna go into that. Now, they're playing the game, but before we get to the game, second time I did that, I'm sorry. Brittany met up with her sister to talk to her sister. And I want to put this in there before I jump back to the game because I saw another content creator say this. And I didn't think about it. But I think I have to agree with her when she says she believes something's going on with Brittany eating marriage because the way she came at the girls, she didn't come at her husband like that. It's something a little off. And I agree, but I'm going to leave that to myself. Brittany met up with her sister, and then she was talking to her sister. Her sister felt like she didn't come around no more and said she blocked the mom because when they get men, they don't know how to talk and they just want the conversation to be just them two, and I understand. And she was sitting down for dinner talking with her sister, and they're having a conversation. Brittany's husband, what is up with these darn marks? I think that's his name, calls her, and he calls her knowing with his sister. She was like, oh, it's time for me to go home. Basically, he wanted to come home. But everybody, like I say, everybody's husbands was at the bank. Okay, now we're going to go back to the table. So as they sit down there talking, they're playing a game of question. And I'm sorry, it's all over the place. I have to get what I remember because I'm a little late. Usually I try to be on time with everything. And the question is, Drew reads the question and she says, she says, Drew read the question, why you worry about people's marriages? And basically, Kelly was like, she was like, it's a habit. So Kelly was like, it's a habit. She was like, yeah. And she was like, no. She was like, that's just something I do. That's just what it is. So before they get into the next question, she had a talk with Drew about, I got to throw this in, about Drew not buying nothing and about the assistant and the makeup artist. So the makeup artist was like, listen, baby, I came for a job. I didn't come to buy them for the charity event, but it was cute now. It was cute. And Kelly was basically saying that Drew didn't make a purchase. She was like, I brought my son a $2,000 jacket. First of all, Drew, no, you didn't. You showed a text message. You're lying again. This is what I mean with the line. It's the constant line. The lies. You're lying. Drew, you did not buy no $2,000 jacket. Hey, Terry, thank you. You did not buy a $2,000 jacket. You ain't buy your son a $2,000 jacket. Like, girl, you got the man in the basement. We know them lawyer fees and all that stuff with that husband is in the basement. That's like the stepchild is kicking your butt. So then here come another question, and she basically, Britt says she swears she didn't write it. It basically said, Kenya, why do you treat Britt Edie a different way than everybody else? Basically, like, why you treat Britt Edie different? She was like, well, I could be nice to all the girls. It's not a problem. And so Brent was like, we're not talking about the girls, we're talking about me, which she was doing a little too much now. I don't know why that legal scale tilt. I don't know how she got agitated, but I feel like we missing some context. And I feel like, I'm finna be honest with y'all, Libras don't snap on nobody and they not knowing that they can have a conversation. Something happened. So she's sitting here saying that, and she said, hold on, because I want to get it word for word, y'all. I'm going to play the audio. I want y'all to hear it. Okay, so we're going to play the whole audio. Hold on, let me turn my thing off, my Bluetooth off. Because I want y'all to hear this.
Is it a habit? No, I'm just being silly. To Kenya. Popular tonight. Can you speak to Britt kindly and not with an attitude? I didn't write it, I promise. The answer is yes. I can speak to everyone kindly without an attitude. I think I have. Yeah, but we're talking about me, sweetheart. Okay. What do you mean, why? I'm not. I have the floor, baby. Okay, you want a moment. Have your moment. This is not a moment. Yeah, it's a big moment. How? For you. You're having a moment. Do you need to step out? I am a moment. I can speak to everyone. This wasn't about everyone. You want me to read it again? Kindly. Would you like for me to read it again? I'm not going to play these childish games. Well, peasants cannot come forward, please. That was what? You said peasant? We have olive oil here. Please stop. You can just wrap it up, lady. Yeah, I didn't sing for her. Thank you for using my catchphrase. Hey, girl, get the out of here. Some people be trying the wrong ones. They be looking for their moment. Ladies, I have good. Like, out of here, bitch. Miss Britt is doing the abs.
She was doing the most, but I feel like she wanted, to me now, she looks up to Kenya. And that's just what it is. She looks up to Kenya. I think she thought if, all the girls were catering to them, being cool with them, cordial, she can get Kenya to do the same. And she did. She looks up to Kenya. And I think she wanted a friendship with Kenya. A lot of people say, oh, she was upset. No, I really believe she wanted a friendship. And anything happened as alliance with Kenya. And I'm going to tell you why. Because Kenya would go to bat and it'll be like they cute little dogs, whatever. Now, what you got to understand, the new girls are working and they working for a spot. I don't think nobody wanted Kenya to lose her spot, but they're working for that next check. They did their job. Now, what kills is when they go outside, okay?
Wait, let me
Here we go.
What's up, baby? Oh, my God. All right. No, we're not done. We're still catching this smoke. Okay. It's a vibe. Let me find my husband first. I have so many things, though. I still got my pistol, so girl, Kenny's here. Okay, can I put this in the car?
Kenny, the security guard.
Okay, thank you. You ready? Yeah. I just want to put this down. Somebody find my husband.
So she basically tried to throw and say, that basically Britt Edie was saying that, her husband cared about her. She was throwing shots. Baby, everybody on the other hand getting a divorce. You ain't got to throw shots at your friend because she going to feel some type of way, which is Kelly, right? So she go outside and she goes, start talking junk. And her husband looking like, girl, you doing too much. I believe Britt Edie was drunk. She go outside and she was like, yeah, get the F out of here. Get the F out of here. You know who the F you dealing with. This real life right here. Get the F out of here. So, Kenya's still walking by, whatever. And she sees Portia. Drew go ahead and go. She said she's going to put something in the car. But Drew ain't never come back, child. Drew got into that car and hauled tail like the rest of them. Portia, and she say, Shamia rode with Portia. And then Kenya rode and got in the back. See, she say, I'll be Miss Daisy. You could drive me. And Portia was like, did you hear what she said? She was like, no. She said, you ride with me, Kenya? She said, yeah. So as they're pulling out, she said, did you hear what she said? And she said, yeah. Hold on.
Where she wants to keep.
She said, yeah. So basically, this is what I want y'all to hear. Because Kenya said she saw some on this, honey.
She was talking about, I still got my pistol on me. This girl is a problem. She gotta go. For real. Please let her do something to me so she can go.
Kenya wasn't darn scared. Let me tell y'all something. That was Kenya Karma. And I seen what Sherelle wrote. Shout out to Sherelle wrote. She was like, oh, Britt Edie. No, Britt ain't paying that. We seen that. That was on camera. We finna keep it real. We see Britt say, Kenya say, I don't know, I might bring my pew with her friend Brandon. That's been out there. Britt ain't paying nobody to put that out there. That's been out there. We saw her say she go flip the table on Phaedra when she was pregnant. Okay. We saw her push Kim Fields, antagonize Kim motherfucking Fields, who ain't did a darn thing to her. I'm finna see if hold on, let me see if I can find it. We seen Kenya antagonize Kim Fields on camera. who did nothing to her, who did nothing, who had to get to learn to read at the table with Nene and freaking Phaedra. Excuse me? She didn't antagonize nobody? Child, please. Let me see if I can find it. I'm finna find it. Let me go to YouTube. I sure am. I say what? Everybody forgot about that? The way she antagonized Kim freaking Fields, alleged. Yes. Hold on. Let me share my screen. Okay. She antagonized her. We're not going to act like it. Hold on. Before I go and we start, press play. Copyright disclaimer under Section 107 of Copyright Act 1976 is made for fair use of purpose such as criticism, comment, news reporting, teaching, scholarships, or research. Fair use is permitted by.
I would like you to be involved to support. Okay, well, let's go back. So, I was
statuses that might otherwise be infringing nonprofit educational purpose. Okay, here we go, y'all. Y'all get the truth.
Wasn't available to make the pitch meeting, but I could have had a conversation with you easily after that. I made myself available on your time. I said I will be willing to work with Kim. What that could have been deserved a conversation. And now you're telling me that you've already made a decision. I don't appreciate that. You just don't treat your friends like that. It's rude, and as a businesswoman, I'm insulted. No one typically makes a decision without hearing multiple pitches. That's a respectful thing. Okay, you want to put the respect word on the table? Okay, let's go there. This is all about professionalism. When it comes to anything you do, I show up 15 minutes early. Happened, I still and there is no other expectation. Well, that's your choice. I'm just saying, and I get it. But I'm just saying, I still would have, and I say that with a clear conscience.
Kenya's being childish. It's Cynthia's commercial. Cynthia's the client. I mean, are you kidding me right now?
The other thing is, I disagree with what she said about typically it works where the production company has all the reins. Kim explained that you can't have one director, one producer. That isn't how it works. Kim is right here, though. Yeah. Well, I'm talking to you because I don't need to have her opinion about it. I heard it for myself. Right, but we're all sitting here together. So, I mean, is this about you really wanting to do the commercial or losing to Kim? Okay, so clearly there is some issue that she has. She probably,
there's no issue.
as
just
you
so we're
said
clear.
Before, I'm telling you that there is one, and everything.
Well, there's no
that
issue on my side.
You basically stated, I'm a one-woman show, which means I'm not going to work with Kenya. Everything that how you behave and the choices that you make, it's in an effort to alienate me. And now you're trying to alienate me from one of my best friends.
Really? Cynthia doesn't have a lot of time, and it's not a huge budget. It's not personal.
You're the client. You make the decision.
Yes. No, I'm clear.
You make the executive decision. But you decided to work on it without me, and I wish you guys well. I don't want to leave this conversation. It's still like some weirdness.
Every company has the right to do things however they choose to. Mm-hmm. I'm not apologetic for it because of the results, because of the experience.
How many commercials have you done? I'm just curious.
Well, since you're not the client, it really does.
Kim has been a producer, and director, and executive producers of a lot of our favorite shows. Kim Fields has been in the game for a very long time. She was brought us the best Christmas movies. So I'm trying to figure out what we're doing here. Okay, she was on one of the best 90s all black female and male cast show. Shout out to Living Single, honey. That Friends copied. Let's continue.
Doesn't matter.
Well, you can let me know. I asked you a question.
Sure, I could. If I
So
wanted
you're now
to.
being again condescending.
Not
which is,
at all.
Yes,
I'm
you
not
are.
being
I asked you a
condescending.
question. I don't have
And
to
I
be the
choose not to
client
answer.
to ask you a question because you probably haven't
Okay.
done any, Kim. You want to talk about your experience?
Wow.
Well, then put your experience on the table. How many commercials
do.
have you done?
You can Google me. You can IMDb me. There's all my credits right there. With Cynthia.
What I'm not going to
this
do
point-
is sit here and again be disrespectful.
You are
I've
famous
tried.
for telling me what you are
I have
not going
tried
to do.
to talk to you.
You have not tried
on
to
many-
grow up.
Oh,
You are
grow
at
up?
the kiddie table.
Oh, I'm sorry.
And I've
You're
been
the
sitting
50-year-old
at the-
woman that has to
I'm
tell
not
me
50.
about
And even
growing
if I
up.
were, I certainly
Okay.
don't look it.
Oh, you
I've
don't
been
look
sitting
it? I
at
think
the
someone has told you some lies.
I'm mortified. I don't know how to deal with the situation. Kenya is really gone with the wind, crazy right now. And it's not cool.
Your kids are in your room.
Cynthia,
They're not sitting at this table, okay?
really? 'Cause
Let's be clear.
It seems like that. So
No, it
I've
doesn't
been at
seem
the
like
adult
that,
table
Kim
in the
Tootie
industry.
Fields.
Oh, good one.
Yes.
So
Did Mrs.
at
Gary
this
teach you
point,
how to talk like that?
you are really tired.
Everything about you is tired.
Oh, wonderful.
You-
Let's
you
go
wanna
and get
talk
the
to
divorce, and then
someone-
I'll keep the
If
friends,
you
because
wanna
nobody
talk
really
to
seems to like
someone
you.
oh, everyone loves me, honey. Guess what they say about you behind your back? Snooze fest.
If I don't
know who
fit
you've
in
been
with
talking
this
to.
clique, that
Okay.
is really okay. I've been in the industry for a long time.
Maybe it's time for you to exit.
And leave room for you? Not.
Oh, there's
So,
always room for
we
me.
will definitely be able to do the
I am the
commercial.
room.
No.
I think Kim is living in the past and she's delusional about her work and her credits past the age of 12.
My elevator doesn't go down to this floor.
Oh, let's stand up and
Yeah.
clap. Let's.
Oh, yeah.
You win the award.
In any
Oh, let me
event,
pull your chair for you.
Kenya, don't do that. Don't do
You
that.
are
Don't
really
do
a
that.
piece
Let's
of
go.
work.
Don't do that.
Oh my
Here you go.
God. Now you're disrespecting my space on top of disrespecting me. You are awful.
The award goes to Kim Tootie Fields for Best Exit in Jamaica. Bravo.
But I choose to disengage now. Otherwise, it's going to get real bad.
Now, I was willing to work with her, which was my point.
All right. So, hey, Candy Kisses. So, yes, that's how Kenya does antagonize people. I don't put it behind a doubt in my mind that they had to show both sides. Now, I'm ready for Sunday because what I'm ready for is I'm going to put it out here. I've heard this last May when they filmed this last summer. I heard that when Kenya showed them photos, it was worse than Brittany Edie sitting here, sending a little threat. I heard Brittany Edie had left. She kicked her out of the grand opening. She kicked her out. I heard bloggers were there, and I heard people were upset. People were so upset that Portia left. Portia wanted to stay to get her hair done. Portia left. Portia did not like it. So, thank you, Candy Kisses. So, Portia left. And the bloggers were saying, even ATL and Michelle Brown, shout out to her, and shout out to Aaron. They House of Aaron. They both said they were there. Brittany Edie was there. She had to leave. Portia left, and they said that it was so bad to where people who were, let me tell you something, people from Atlanta that were invited, came to see the grand opening, to see everything, were in shock. Some of the cast members were very, very upset, disappointed, and they wanted to go. They was like, if it was me, it would be a showdown. This is what Kenya does. I think that's what Kenya wanted to do to see what she could find on her. Now, a lot of people say, oh, Kenya, let me tell you something. In the state of Georgia and anywhere, even if somebody put it out, if you reshare it, and post it to embarrass somebody, that is a crime. So yes, they had to handle that. Now, would it be fair for Kenya and Brittany to go? Yes, but let's be clear. Kenya did a little thing. I'm gonna see if I can find on my TikTok where she sat there and she was with her friend Brandon making a joke saying that she would bring her pew pew to Phaedra, who was pregnant at the time with her second child. So that's why Bravo didn't do anything, because they're like, listen, we don't see, baby, let me tell you something. We don't see fights. We don't see wig shifts. I don't know what Real Housewives of Atlanta y'all been watching. We don't see ants parties where men things just poke up out of nowhere. We don't seen a lot of things. We don't see Nene say, I don't want to touch a dildo. We done seen all of that. So I don't know what Real Housewives of Atlanta people watching when they say, oh, it's Love and Hip Hop. Baby, let me tell you something. Y'all need to go to season 1. Yeah, remember that? She said all of that. We don't see Kim hanging out with Lizzie Lohan daddy. We don't see Kim get told to leave, stop messing with married men, and Big Papa and got threatened plenty of times by Nene to get beat up at her friend house in Miami. I'm trying to figure out where y'all get that this is not Love and Hip Hop Atlanta, baby. This is Real Housewives of Atlanta. I need y'all to jump from season 1 all the way to 16 on your DVRs, because I'm trying to figure out what the hell y'all been watching this whole time. We done seen Sheree get in between Nene and Kim, and Candy get in between Nene and Kim. Like, we done seen Portia before Portia let that man go when he say her mama was eating the pizza on his cream colored chair. He told her she couldn't go to the strip club. She was sitting in a limo. Baby, we done seen Portia, after she divorced that man, be free and pulled Cynthia boob out on the reunion and dragged Kenya by her hair. And she could come back for a season. We done seen Kenya put on a fake butt for Phaedra over Apollo. And we done seen Phaedra cheeks. Welcome to Real Housewives of Atlanta, honey. This isn't nothing new. Like, come on now. This isn't nothing new. No, she's not on Real Housewives now. She's not on this season, but there are rumors that they believe some people may be coming back for season 17. So we're on Sweet 16 now, but I don't know if Kim gonna come back. The reason why I don't, because Kim and Corey house is gone, so they're separated. From what I understand, Corey's in an apartment down the street from the home, as well as Kim. So yeah, they had to move. They finally moved out that house that Atlanta been trying to get them out of for the past 2 years to sell to somebody else. Now, word on the curb is Shamia old house is Kim old house that Kim lost, but I don't see how that happened because they filmed last year. But Shamia husband did just buy Kim and Corey old house in Sandy Springs. Yes, and a lot of people's like, oh, it's being Real Housewives of Atlanta or it's being Zeus. Baby, where have y'all been? This been going on for years. For years. Like, since it started, it's been ratchet. You know, we done got the Big Papa. We'll never know who Big Papa is, honey. Yeah, that okay. Yes, that's when Kim left. When Kim said Nene had a roach, Nene went off. Nene went off because the daughter recorded that. And child, the daughter is plumped and tucked like her mama. And I don't know how Kim gonna pay for that wedding that she got coming, because she plumped and tucked. Yeah, she plumped and tucked too. Filters, Botox. She done got it all this year. Yeah, she got it all this year. Yeah, she plumped and tucked like Kim. I don't know. Cora say she was messing up them children's lives, and he say she messing up my life and the kids' life. I believe it. I believe it. Yeah, he sure did. She done drove Corso crazy that it's a let me see if I can find that video. Honey, I want to she done drove Corey so darn crazy. Croy done sat here, was crying out to Atlanta Police Department. They was like, we just hit him. He said, she driving me crazy. She drove him out so bad. Let me tell you what they say. And they not lying. Atlanta don't be lying. When y'all hear stuff about it, if people talk, they don't be lying. The only thing they been lying about on Man to Man, we're going to get into in a few, is Dr. Damon cheating on Heavenly. That's a damn lie. But I'm going to have to do a throwback. I'm going to have to. I think you know what? I think I can do that Saturday. I'm going to see how it is. I gotta catch up on my lives. I might do it tomorrow. We're gonna go to the best. I'm gonna pull up. We're gonna do some reactions on the best Real House of Atlanta going all the way up to now. But from what I hear, Kim and Corey stayed in Sandy Springs. This is in Atlanta. This is still called Fulton County. And before they left the house, because they just moved out the house a month ago, they say the dolls was loose. Neighbors would call the police, and Corey would call because they would argue. The reason why they were still in that house and didn't get rid of that house because Croy didn't want to leave. Kim didn't want to leave. She felt like that was her home. Corey said that was her home. Come to find out, she'd been shacking up allegedly with Tom Hanks' son. Okay, when she went on that show. He say she driving him crazy. She's a cheater. She say he's crazy. Something's wrong with him. She want him out. Then the police department say we can't put him out. You want him out, you go to court. It was a whole mess. The kids be crying. They tired of hearing it. The two other girls got to come pick up the younger kids because she don't had all them kids by. Pull them up. He say she driving him crazy every time Atlanta Police Department come by. He asks why. Girl, it's a mess. I'm gonna do a throwback and I'm gonna show y'all. I'm gonna go do the throwback tomorrow, and I'm gonna show the video where Croy sat here and told them she driving him crazy. I'm gonna show that y'all, because y'all gonna be like, what the hell? Poor Croy. Croy don't even look like who he was when she met him. Croy looked like he don't went through the life of life. You know what? What am I doing tomorrow? I don't think I'm doing anything. I'm going to do it at 2 o'clock. I'm going to do my thumbnail today after this live, and we're going to do it at 2. We're going to start at 2. It's going to be a long live now, 2 p.m. I want y'all. That's going to be my time, depending on when y'all at. 2 p.m. I'm telling y'all, be ready, because we finna take it all. We gonna go all through the best. We gonna go all through the drama, how everything started to where they are now. I hope they bring Nene back, and I feel like Nene deserves to be back with this new group of girls they get to know. Now Nene did say on her YouTube, she says she don't feel like none of them are stars, honey. She's still mad. She's still mad at Portia. I understand. We gonna get into that too. How that felt. We gonna bring it in. I was surprised to see Peter do his last live before they take Uncle Peter in. They finna lock Uncle Peter up. Lord be his protector. All right, now we're gonna go to Married to Medicine. And honey, hold on, I'm sorry, I'm responding to something. So now we're gonna go into Married to Medicine. Married to Medicine, Quad has upset me. I feel like Quad, oh Lord Jesus. I don't know why Quad worked so hard to get a friendship with these ladies. And another thing that I don't like is Contessa throw jabs, and then when somebody throw jabs to Contessa, Contessa likes to sit here. Oh, well, this happened to me. Contessa, baby, I need you to come harder than that. I need you to come harder than that. I'm tired of the sympathy after I throw a jab, and you throw it back. I have to get a sympathy from some. Don't do that. So we're gonna get into Married to Medicine reunion, honey. And listen, honey, I knew. I'm gonna say this. I like Dr. Simone. I always have and always supported her, whatever she had going on. I'm gonna be so honest. I do. I've always have with all the ladies, especially Quad and Toya and Mariah when she was there. And Dr. Heavenly too. I'll be on them lives. And I'm gonna tell y'all, when Dr. Heavenly Sweet Tea got into it about the husbands and the pedo situation, I was on that live and I posted that live. It's in my videos of Sweet Tea, Dr. Heaven, them arguing. I posted, and I'm gonna pick a day to do a throwback, and we're gonna go to that live too. I posted that live. Sweet Tea started first. I promise you she did. And the way I knew she started, because I was sitting there watching the live. Usually, okay, let me break it down what happened before we get into reunion, because we're gonna talk about it. Usually Dr. Heavenly, Phaedra, and Dr. Jackie do a live. It'll be with Simone wasn't really jugging with her at the time. Toya may pop in there and then talk about the show. They were separated. It was Toya, Simone, Dr. Jackie, and Phaedra. Sweet Tea was on one. That night, Sweet Tea wasn't on that one. They were discussing, how Sweet Tea called Dr. Jackie out her name. Okay? And that's what the discussion was about. Sweet Tea wasn't on that live, but they usually do after shows. Sometimes it's Quad. Sometimes everybody try to chime in and be on. I think Instagram let you up to 4 people. I'll never forget, it was 3 people on that live, and I watched it. Dr. Heavenly, I think Dr. Heavenly and Sweet Tea popped in. Sweet Tea talked about Dr. Heavenly deceased mother, and it went from there. I never forget that live, because when I sat there, I screen recorded that live, and my mouth dropped. When it got to where they were arguing so bad, and they went at each other, and they were dissing each other so bad, Phaedra cut the live off. I was on Phaedra live. I never forget it. Phaedra cut that live off. I say, what the Phaedra cut that live off. I was sitting right there front and center with everybody else, seeing how Sweet Tea and Dr. When I say they went at each other like 2 big pit bulls, mad about somebody touching their man, and one was pregnant, baby. When I say it was bad, it was bad. Phaedra cut that live off quick in a hurry. I said, oh, shoot, what did I just watch? Toya cut her live. Everybody cut their lives off because they wouldn't talk to each other. It was bad. And that's when the Twitter thing started to happen. Dr. Heavenly got out there live and went live with Carlos. She was pissed because she was on her live. Carlos jumped in and asked what happened. I'll never forget that night. And it was after they were reviewing Married to Medicine. I'll never forget it. I'm going to insert it. We're going to do a throwback on them too. We're going to get to where they're at. We're going to do that Saturday. And I'm going to do it because I really want y'all to see that live. Because a lot of people feel like Sweet Tea is a victim and Sweet Tea can't. Sweet Tea throw jabs and she can hang, but when it comes to really it get tough and she got to put her back into it to get there, Sweet Tea ain't gonna make it. And it's not for her. The reads were horrible. So we go into Married to Medicine reunion. Now we're gonna go into it. So it's a continuation where Dr. Contessa and Dr. Heavenly continue to have that, they disagree. Dr. Contessa decides to sit here and say that, she hopes that Dr. Damon is cheating on Dr. Heavenly, and he's getting cool cat from elsewhere because that'll make him feel better. He's insufferable with Dr. Heavenly. Dr. Heavenly is insufferable. And Dr. Heavenly say something about Contessa boobs, about how they're not done right. I had a double vasectomy. I had my boobs removed because my brother had breast cancer in Iran. My boobs are reconstructed. You can't say something and then not have this woman say. That's what people got to understand with Dr. Heavenly. Dr. Heavenly only respond when it's time to respond. That's always been. Unless you Mariah, I don't know why. That is what it is. So as they sit there, Dr. Simone chime in and say, she basically says, well, you know, what she's saying is the things that you said on social media. She told you something in confidence and you decided to go and tell the world. First of all, she told Dr. Heavenly the details in confidence. She didn't tell her husband and she didn't tell the world. The only thing she told the world was, and Dr. Heavenly repeated, that her husband wasn't shit. That's what Dr. Contessa said. Her husband wasn't shit. I'm going to say that, excuse my friend. Her husband wasn't shit. That's exactly what she said. Dr. Contessa said he and say he don't listen. He might be cheating. She don't know if he cheating. She kept insinuating. She threw her husband on the bus. She said her husband was a shit. Basically telling the world her husband was a shit. That's what she was saying. I don't know how her husband wasn't shit, but she basically trying to say her husband wasn't shit. Okay? And I was with her husband because he's like, what the hell she talking about? We ain't never talked about this. We ain't never. I have to understand, if y'all in the same house, you going to tell everybody else ain't shit, then you come to me loving on me. I'm like Dr. Jackie, confused because you coming on me, loving on me. We going out, we taking trips, you smiling in pictures, but then you telling everybody else I'm not shit. That's a problem. What are we doing? So, you know, Dr. Heavenly said that, you know, that's just something that she do. Now, Andy was saying something about the social media, perhaps, and I agree when people say Andy don't want nobody to talk about him. Andy, people do say some shit, you get mad. But Andy, I mean, that coming to target you that, you know, you that. I understand, but Andy, I know you know how to throw shade. Somebody say something, you say some shit bad. Stop being. I don't like that, Andy. I don't like that because Andy, we have seen you throw shade. We have seen you talk shit. You better start throwing that shade back, baby, and start laughing. After they get mad, they just get damn mad. You hear what I'm saying? Hell. Now, so he was saying something about it. But basically, like Dr. Heavenly say, why would she give up her social media, which pushed the show? I agree, and I've been telling people this. Dr. Heavenly pushes the show with her social media, especially it's giving us something to watch. When it comes to YouTube and Instagram and these lives, Dr. Heavenly pushed Married to Medicine. Married to Medicine had its highest ratings because Dr. Heavenly has been pushing the show. Besides the drama, besides the things that we saw with when it comes to Twitter and all that stuff, that's what pushed these shows. But Dr. Heavenly get on her YouTube, talk, you know, the quad and things like that, and it pushed the show further. Let me tell you something, these reunions has been the highest they ever had since Mariah left. When Mariah was there, the ratings were top tier. After Mariah left, it failed. Remember, when they tried to kick quad out, it failed. This has been the highest since Dr. Heavenly been doing that. So, you know, she says she's not going to it. He was like, well, basically saying he didn't give a damn. He'll only have a problem if Dr. Heavenly talk about him. That's what Andy said on YouTube. And he was like, he really didn't give a damn. Like, let's just be honest, he really didn't give a damn. So then we go in here, whatever. And Dr. Heavenly, you know, she did get questioned about her social media and stuff like that. So then we go to Dr. Mimi. And I like Dr. Mimi. I hope she come back next season. So, you know, Dr. Mimi start going off. Now, Sweet Tea and Dr. Mimi was friends. Sweet Tea go ahead and get a little attitude, child. We don't give a damn. And basically, Sweet Tea only is mad because she's been hanging with Quad and King. Mimi and her husband hanging with Quad and Queen King. That's why that lady said, excuse me. That's why that darn corny behind lady said, "Oh, me and Mimi was never friends. They were trying to get her to be my therapist, to be my friend. We were never friends." That's a victim response, and we gonna talk about victims because I got something to say about Brianna. That's how victims act when they're really being smacked on and verbally abused and put down. That's a victim response. They tend to ignore people sticking up for them and be very passive aggressive about their relationship. Pay attention. So, as she sit here, whatever, that's what happened. So, she's talking about all the ladies. She was breaking down how they are. And Quad was like, honey, Mimi is a great girl to hang out with. Y'all really think Mimi is fun. Mimi is a great time. I had a great time with her. Mimi can throw some shade, honey. Mimi is one of them girls. Mimi is cool, I got to like Mimi. So, she broke down everything. She was saying Quan need to heal. I forgot who she called passive aggressive. Sweet Tea. Really, Sweet Tea need to grow the hell up. We'll go into that later. Okay, so then we decide to go into the honey. Quad was eating her ass up. Okay. So then we go into the husbands. And Dr. Damon called out Dr. Gregory. So they had the conversation about and this is what I don't understand. And I have to get on Dr. Damon a little bit and Dr. Gregory. I'm gonna get on both of them. I love Dr. Damon, Dr. Gregory. Let me tell you something. Anybody that go to him as a therapist, I don't see the reviews. Dr. Gregory, you got a lot of work to do. I saw you allegedly putting people in a mental hospital, just giving them medication and not saying a word. I need you to get on your shit. You know what it's doing in the Black community with the mental health, and you're slipping, and your bad side is showing, your tail. So they decide to sit down and have a conversation. And I see both sides, and I have to agree with Dr. Damon on this because that was very unprofessional what Dr. G did. So they're having a conversation, and it's about Heavenly. And basically, I'm going to let y'all hear it, and then I'm going to tell you why I agree.
Back to the start of the season, Greg and Damon, it seemed like you both got caught up in the back and forth between your wives, and you both caught strays. Greg, you took real issue with the way Heavenly attacked you online, saying that you were not respected in the medical community.
I just felt very disrespected. Any physician that's, caring about their practice and caring about their job, the people that they serve.
When I read the reviews, she's not lying. He is not respected. And y'all can go read the reviews. It's very, very scary. And some people just doing it because of the show.
Serve is not going to take kindly to negative things being said about them.
So, Damon, what if Sweet Tea tweeted that you were not respected in the medical community? How would you respond to that?
I could care less. Ain't nothing your wife can say is going to crush me. People have said twice now, Damon does this, he cheats, he does this. It's bullshit.
Now, Damon say he tired of y'all saying he cheating. Damon say he tired now. Dr. Damon say y'all gonna stop saying he cheating. He said y'all gonna stop. He's not cheating. That's messing up his character. And I'm gonna be honest with you. Nobody would want a doctor to look after them if they're busy cheating. And I'm gonna tell you, this is why Dr. G practice is under attack. Women who go to these doctors look at that. And they feel like you just throw off on them just to go ahead and do what you gotta do. They don't like it. They take it very seriously. I'm just saying. So they go into it. They have an argument about it. He said, what really upset me was last reunion, you didn't stand up for me and say that I'm not a cheater. Dr. G sat there and said, basically said, I cheated on my wife. I mean, if you did, you did. I really didn't give a damn. Okay? He didn't say it like that, but that's how he said it. He said that basically, shit, he cheat, shit. You know, I mean, you cheat, you cheat. That's just you. Like, I don't know what you do your day to day because I know what the hell I do. Okay. And then he said that's what upset him as a friend because he works with him. And I understand that because they work together. He said, and then you stop accepting my patients that I send to you that have a mental issue because he's a therapist for that. Here's the thing in Atlanta, when people go to, I'm not sure what hospital he work at, but the hospital I think that he work at, there's a lot of people that go for mental health issues. So they were sending them to Dr. G. Dr. G didn't take none of Dr. Damon patients because of that situation. He did not take none of them. He took none of them. He said that he wasn't taking his patients. And Dr. G said, yeah, I ain't take your patients. Your wife said this and that about me that affected me. And Dr. Damon was like, that's really unprofessional. And the guys sat there and agreed to the fact that that was unprofessional because no matter what, when it comes to saving lives, that's important. But a lot of people was telling Dr. Damon that he does. Here's my thing that he didn't even get on his wife. He do this. What? Excuse me. I'ma say. I grew up learning and hearing this phrase, and I always live by this relationship. I'm not married. If I get married, I'm still gonna live by it. You don't never get into your partner tail in front of everybody. You get into your partner tail behind closed doors because what you're not going to do, you're going to give people the reason to jump into something they have no business jumping into. You never do that in public. You do it in private. And that's between you and your partner, long as respectful. So I feel like Dr. Damon does get on her. Now then we go to King. And we talk about the King situation. So they said that all the guys sat around and he was saying, oh, y'all took a liking to King. And, you know, King was like, listen, I don't have a problem with Dr. G. You know, I just didn't want you disrespecting my woman. He's the man that got a problem or whatever. And he was like, well, and this is why I feel like, Sweet Tea, you, what's wrong with you? I'm going to tell you why. I was like, what the hell? This how I knew he wasn't over quiet. And Curtis said this, and I was like, that is so true. Because Toya said this on the last reunion, and nobody caught it. So they would sit down talking, whatever. I said, like, when King came around, everybody want to be around King, and everybody want to do this and that. So, you know, Andy asked, okay, well, can you guys, you know, just have a kumbaya moment, whatever. Dr. G said something and King said, yep, no, we're not going to because he's never going to take accountability for nothing that he's done. And what I'm not going to do is sit here and do that. So no, we can't shake hands and we can't be cool because you're not going to take the accountability that you, the one that told her to shut the F up in front of me, and that is my woman. I grant him on that and I applaud him. Hold on. As they're sitting there listening, the ladies are listening. Okay. I'm going to play what happened and what was said between King and Dr. Damon.
Does this, he cheats.
Given your relationship, Willa from Philadelphia said,
Hold on, y'all.
I don't want this to fester, no.
Because apology?
I forgive because God says that we should forgive.
Okay.
Okay, that's when Dr. Damon said he forgive because God said he forgive, and he ain't going to forgive. Let me see if this is where Quad and Simone clash.
Willa from Philadelphia said, Vibe Check is Quad's favorite new game. She loved lifting up King. Maybe Quad is in love with her new man and wants to celebrate it.
Point blank, period.
Not everything is about Greg. Curtis, what do you think?
Quad spent a whole year listening to Greg and Letitia talk about their relationship. Greg was very generous in talking about how great Letitia is.
Yeah.
All year.
Yeah.
Quad was there. Quad didn't have a man.
That is true. They rubbed it in Quad's face. We're not going to act like they didn't bring Letitia on to rub that. We're not going to act like Dr. G came back. Let me tell you something. I want to shout out to Oh my God, I forgot her name on Oliver Twist show. And I was watching it, and I said that's so true, and this is so true. And I'm gonna play the rest. Like Oliver say, they both need each other. He's absolutely right. But the one of the ladies said this on the podcast. She said nobody was checking for Dr. G when he left for Quadro. Amen. Nobody was checking for Dr. G. Nobody asked what the hell he had going on till that girl slid in his DM like Quad say and promised the baby that she knows she can't do. I believe she knew she had that going on with her body. You can't tell me this girl done went to doctors and didn't know. You can't tell me Sweet Tea wasn't going to OBGYN and didn't know. And that's what people be saying. But we're going to let this play, and then I'm going to give y'all my commentary after. Let's continue.
Oh, yeah. Yeah. Quan was there. Quan didn't have a man. Huh? Oh, yeah. Quan was there. Quan didn't have a man.
And didn't have a problem with it.
And Toya said that.
She may have watched it on TV. She wasn't around. I have a problem with it. I did not have a problem with it. She wasn't around. The fact that y'all ushered them back into this group is a problem. Let's start there.
Tell them, Quad.
To utilize these people against me. So we can usher in the people we with. We can usher them. You shut the told you for one around. You gave us your ass to kiss, and we hung out with Greg. You got mad. You got mad. You got mad. No, what you get mad for? What you get mad for? You dirty bitch. You dirty bitch. You got exactly what karma has coming to you. What karma? You turn your back on people. We did the same.
Didn't Mariah not tell us last year when she sat down at McDonough, Georgia at her studio? Shout out to the Hawk. Talking to Carlos King that Simone does that. Did Mariah not tell us that? Did Mariah say, yeah? If Simone said it, if Quad say Simone said it, she said it. That's what Simone does. Because production tells Simone to do it, she'll do it. And Simone is the ringleader of this is why I say don't knock nobody out the group. Don't try to kick nobody out, usher nobody in because it come tacky and that become the show. Did Mariah not say that? Mariah told us that. Yes, Dr. Simone told that to Quad. Here's the thing. They were sick of Quad because Quad had other things going on and they wanted to usher in Sweet Tea. They were trying to get her off the show. They wanted to get her off and usher Sweet Tea. Remember when Dr. Heavily said that Quad wasn't coming back. She came back mid-season because they begged her to come back because of the ratings. They ushered in Sweet Tea. Here's my thing with Sweet Tea, and I'm finna be so honest. And I see a lot of older women backing up Sweet Tea, and I Jesus. Male centering a man that disrespects you is a no-go. And I don't know who raised some of these women to be that way. Sweet Tea, the only thing in common that her and Dr. G have in common is what she saw on TV because she was a fan. She still talks about Quad. I have proof of that. She talks about Quad with her cooking show. She brings up Quad. Let me show you with Dr. Simone. And she brings up about Quad's house. And we'll watch a reaction video on that tonight. Well, matter of fact, it's called The Sweet and Savory. Let me see. I'm going to see when she released the whole thing, and I'll do a reaction on that tonight. If not tonight, it'll be tomorrow night after Real Housewives of Atlanta. But I'm gonna try to bring it in some type of way into, because we still got a lot to talk about. It's very male centered. It's nothing wrong with loving your husband, but the only thing I feel like Sweet Tea and Dr. G have in common is a child. And for Dr. Simone to cater to Sweet Tea to give that child, because it's very male centering these male doctors. I don't like that. I don't like how Sweet Tea feels like her storyline is quad. I see that she's trying to get into a storyline of her own of YouTube and branch out, but let's be honest, Dr. G ain't gonna like her ass no more. He's not gonna want it no more. He wants her to depend on him with them crying babies barefoot with nothing. And we're gonna see a change in that, because that's what Dr. G wants. Sweet Tea, and I'm in a Married to Medicine group, right? And I see a lot of women, oh, Dr. G's a provider, this, and let me tell you something, that don't matter. Men having money don't matter, just like looks. What can you bring to the table? How you got to start thinking long term. Can you hold a conversation? What are the things, if I lack, that you can pick up? And that's what people are not taking heed to. So listen, this live been an hour. I'm gonna do my thumbnails. I will come back around 9 tonight. We're gonna have a discussion. I'm gonna make my thumbnails now. Tomorrow we're gonna do the Real Housewives of Atlanta breakdown tomorrow at 2. And then I'm gonna come back at, I think I'm gonna do it around 8 or 9. We're gonna jump into depends on how long that live lasts, gonna be long. We're gonna go ahead and jump into Married to Medicine, and we're gonna watch Sweet Tea and how she keeps talking about quad. Yes, I'm gonna talk about the Brianna and Sherelle situation. I'm gonna try to do that tonight around 8 or 9 o'clock. Probably 9:30. And I want to discuss that because I'm a little baffled by some things. I want to discuss it. It's not to bash somebody. Or should I do it Saturday? We're gonna see what I can do it. Let me work something out. Then we're gonna talk about the takedown of Zeus Saturday. Yeah, that's our Saturday Night Live. It's gonna be all about Zeus. So I hope you guys enjoyed this. Don't forget to like, comment, share, subscribe. Let me know your thoughts in the comment section. Thank you guys for watching, and make sure you hit that like button. Later.